career in multi-platform audio, digital, podcast, social media, and local events, along with world-class training and career growth opportunities. KBLA Talk 1580, located in historic Leimert Park, is currently hiring entry-level account executives for outside sales. Join a team featuring radio hosts Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, Dr. Nee Cordelai Corte, Zoe Williams, and our very own Dominique DePrima. For more information on attending our upcoming career fair, contact SMB at KBLA1580.com today.
Work, 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 work.
Just got paid. Is it payday? It might be payday. Shout out to payday. It's Friday and you are locked in for your entertainment update here on KBLA Talk 1580 with Jill Munroe. I hope that you are rocking out someplace and taking a moment to take in this entertainment update with us, vibe with us for just a moment. I think that dropped in like 89. Teddy Riley produced it. I believe that song was originally for Keith Sweat or something like that.
87.
87. Oh my, well, I was close. Somewhere in there. But I do know Teddy produced it, and I think that he made it for Keith Sweat. Shout out to Austere. I can't even begin to pronounce your last name, but shout out to you in the chat. Love that song, and he just did get paid. So it's a good Friday, you know, the night before Black History Month begins. All the good things.
Is Black History still existing?
Yeah, as long as we keep it alive, right?
All right.
That's how it's going to exist.
I don't need to hear Trump with another executive order talking about, we getting rid of Black History Month. Oh, it's going to be a riot if that was the case.
Listen, even if he tried, we are getting rid of nothing, right? We're going to represent. So it is Friday, and we have some good trending topics to get into tonight. We're going to talk about Will Smith making his first major award show appearance since the infamous Oscar slap. Will this be his comeback moment for Hollywood to welcome Will back into their arms? Plus, Eddie Murphy, a legend. You know, he's put out some projects in the last few years. Some have been really well received, others, But he is getting a documentary treatment, so we're going to get into that and talk a little bit about Eddie's career. And then also, I have a drama update, a social media drama update about a former NBA player and his fiancée, where his fiancée took to social media and named names and tagged folks. So we're going to get into a little bit of that. But before we do, you know, I like to get the night started with a couple of things. First of all, it's Grammy weekend. So shout out to that, getting ready for that in the city. I'll be in the building on Sunday. So hopefully, you know, I can bring back some stories or something like that. See what's going on with Kendrick Lamar.
Are you working the event?
I am working.
Okay. All right. For sure.
I will be there working, covering it for EUR Web. So, yep, check me out. And, you know, listen, this little update I have for you I thought was interesting because we always talk about people stepping up and it takes a village, but I think Tristan Thompson may have just overstepped his boundaries. He put out a video where he said that he missed his daughters, both of them. He said, I have two daughters. My oldest daughter, Dream, i.e. Dream Kardashian, i.e. Black China and Rob Kardashian's daughter, and his daughter, True, that he shares with Khloe. And, you know, Dream spends a great deal of time with Aunt Chloe. I didn't know that Tristan and Chloe were back together. I thought she was single. But Black China did not appreciate Tristan jumping in with that little bit to the mix. And she let him know that he was clout chasing. And she said, I usually don't speak up on things of this nature, but Dream has one mother, Angela White, and one father, Robert Kardashian. Stop all this clout chasing involving my daughter. As parents, we have joint custody, and we also have a beautiful, healthy co-parenting relationship. Now, there have been rumors that Chloe really, loves Aunt Coco, loves the kids, and about the amount of time she spends with her. And again, it takes a village, but did Tristan take it a little bit too far, especially considering his loosey-goosey situations with his children and the mother of his son? I guess it was a couple of years back coming out and saying that he didn't spend much time with his son. You probably should just be Uncle Tristy and keep it cute, keep it in the cut, say you miss the babies, and leave it there and not jump in to do all of this. I mean, I know nobody's talking about Tristan right now. He's not in the L anymore, I don't think so. Anyway, when we come forward, we're going to get into this Will Smith making an award show appearance coming up and talk about this Eddie documentary, because I feel like though we acknowledge Eddie, people really have forgotten his story and how much he really laid down and set the stage for in his early years. So we're going to get into all of that and more on the other side. You're locked in to KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, now I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back into your entertainment update with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Now, before we get into these headlines, if at any point you want to join us during the conversation, hit us up, 800-920-1580. Of course, the YouTube chat is always bustling. You can join us there. And if you're not following us on social media, why not? I, of course, am at Stiletto Jill everywhere. Hit me up, say hi, check me out. And you can follow the station at KBLA 1580. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way. Oh, one last thing that I forgot to mention. Tonight, we also have interviews coming with the cast of Harlem. So you're going to be locked in to check out interviews with Gail Bean and Logan Browning, who are guest starring on the final season of the series. And series regulars, Gail Byers, who plays, oh my God, I just blinked on Gail Byers' character's name. I'm going to get back to it. And Shaniqua Sandai, who plays Angie. So we're going to be talking to them about the final season and get into it. We already have bustling commentary in the chat. Fahima says, happy Friday, and actually a number of federal agencies have banned celebrations related to MLK Day, Women's History Month, and other such observances to comply with Trump's executive orders. Yeah, they have, but guess what? Like I said, what we do has nothing to do with what they do. There are always outside things. That's why we have our own resources and we got to support them. So let's get into this thing. We know back in 2022, it was the slap that was heard around the world at the Oscars. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Chris Rock is reportedly, still dealing with the repercussions to his mental health following that, though he doesn't talk about it as much. This is what, sources say. And Will was in exile for a small amount of time and then slowly but surely has made his way back on top. A hit movie in the Bad Boys franchise certainly helps things. He did take a different approach as far as media with that campaign. But Will is coming back to one award show stage, and fittingly so. The place where he received his first award, the first Grammy Award for hip hop. Was it called rap at that time? I can't remember. I think that they've changed the name of the award slightly since that originally happened. But Will's taking the Grammy stage on Sunday. Not sure what award he will be presenting, but he will be presenting. And so we know he's been at smaller events, but like I said, this marks the first major event that he makes his comeback to. He appeared at the African American Film Critics Association honors a couple of years back when he, what is the film that he did? I know his character's name is Peter, the slave film. I can't recall the name of it, but he's going to take the stage. And honestly, I know it's almost been 3 years. Wow, 3 years. Feels like much longer. I think people have moved past it. They're still going to make a joke or two. There's always going to be a joke or two or three. But, I think Will's back. He has new music out. He dropped some new music with Big Sean. I don't know how much replay value it has for me. But I appreciate that Will is 54, 55 now? And still dropping music. Along with that, we had that conversation about Cube, Snoop, Nas putting in work. Andy, what do you think of the single?
First off, have you heard it?
I've heard a smidgen. I haven't listened to the whole thing.
I listened to it once. I think I need to listen to it again. But I like hearing Will Smith rap.
I do too.
It's cool.
I do too. I know that the space that he was in when he started making music again was following the slap and it looking very dark and like the world had turned on him. And so he's making a different sort of music right now, but I hope he finds his joy again in it because Will can still spit. Although I feel like a lot of the stuff he puts out, I know he works with Joyner Lucas, but it sounds so much like Joyner Lucas to me. And, maybe another writer to help. I don't know. Because I know that Joyner, I feel, leaned a little bit into Will's flow for himself. And I think Will saw that, or when he put it out there and collaboration. But sometimes I feel like, am I listening to Will or am I listening to Joyner? I don't know.
Nowadays, with all these rappers, they all got writers. I mean,
And I'm
Snoop
not
Dogg
mad
got
at it.
writers
Right.
too,
I'm not mad at it. I think we are long past the time where it had to be your pen to the page. And we got our heart broken by thinking about that with a lot of people too back in the day.
Only when we start talking about like who's the greatest MC and this,
Exactly.
that, and the
Yeah.
third, that's when that kind of comes into factor.
That is true. So Emancipation is the name of the Will Smith film that I was trying to think of the name of. Thank you, Fahima. But I feel like, you can have someone write a song for you and rap at this time. It's a legitimate genre that has been on the charts for 30, 40 years. Now, will that make you, like you, Andy alluded to, the pinnacle of rappers in hip hop? No. But you can do it and I feel like be a viable artist. We see it all the time, and still be entertained by it.
That's just more evidence that the game has been watered down.
I mean, it has been, but look at it. Think about all the people think about what we've learned about hip hop over the past 40 or so years. I shouldn't even say about hip hop, about the business of hip hop. Think about the very beginning origins of hip hop with the Sugar Hill Gang. Those were other people's lyrics. They even said the other person's name in the Super Casanova or something was the other rapper's name that had written the rhymes. They didn't even think to change the line. So, in theory, from the very beginning, the first breakout hit as far as radio and sales go in hip hop was a song penned by somebody else with the guys just spitting the lyrics.
Well, let's just be honest. We definitely accredit them for, being pioneers in the game.
Facts.
But once again, when we start talking about who's the best, that group never comes up.
They don't ever come up. But, but even if they never come up, the fact remains they are the starting point of the commercialization of hip hop, I guess, or the viability of the art form for commercial uses. However you want to look at that. It started with that record as the proving ground. So, you can't be mad at it. And like I said, I like Will making music. He still has flow. He still has bounce. Obviously, visually, he has a very creative team. I just, I don't mind the inspirational music. Let's, mix it up. Have some fun music, We might need church every day, but we don't necessarily need church every day.
Well, I mean, I guess once he actually, I don't know if he is, but once he drops an album, I'm sure you're going to get that. Right now, you're just getting singles.
Right,
here and there
but mix up the single thing. I don't want to, let's have fun, Will. We getting jiggy with it. We going to Miami. We're bouncing. We're having a good time.
Can he not expand as an artist?
Sure.
He done gave you a lot of fun music, and y'all
He
called him
has.
corny for all that.
Not y'all.
A lot of people
did. No, I know people.
You know
Here's
what
the
I'm saying?
thing. Yeah, people did, but at the same time, no, it's not like those records did not sell. Somebody was buying them and running it up. So, there's an audience for everything. And certainly, let's not act like Will Smith hasn't always been the thing.
There probably wasn't us purchasing the album, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, some of the, yeah, there definitely was a point where, yeah. But at the same time, if you turn on Miami, right, are you not shaking a little bit? Are you not pussing a little jig? I'm not saying you're going to turn it on and roll down the street to it. But if it came on under the right circumstances, you turn it up with it, right? Right. So I think that, we move on quickly. The news cycles, the outrage, all of that moves very, very quickly. You just got to get your mental fortitude together to make it through that valley, but you will, and it'll be quicker than you think.
And let's keep it G. Him slapping Chris Rock. Were you really going to cancel Will Smith for a man-to-man kind of physical altercation. You know what I'm saying?
But the shock of it, seeing that on TV and then like, wait, that was real? That wasn't a stunt? That, like, what?
We gave him grace.
We
know that's
did.
not his character. Or it probably is his character. Who do we know? But
I mean, he
it's
broke
not,
under the weight of trying to portray the good guy image too long.
and I mean,
That's what he said.
And he did it for, his wife's honor in a lot of ways. So, I mean,
Hey.
can we respect that? Shout out to the book. He
Yeah.
explained his reasoning
Yeah.
why. We forgive him.
I mean, I think most people have forgiven him. I think that the reason why in media at sometimes, especially now, not saying that you should gloss over things, because I know that there was a time when people got to skate a lot. People would just push their stuff under the rug. So that's why people are adamant about bringing up these details, right? And that is why people, address it, because inevitably, no matter what it is, right? Somebody's going to say, yeah, remember that time in 1974 when you skinned your knee? And you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody is going to say it. So it is a preemptive measure to mention it. But really and truly, people are over it. I think even the people that were so outraged and like, oh my God, that was so violent. I even think they're over it,
I agree. I mean, when I saw the video footage of him when Bad Boys had came out and he was undercover over here at the Magic Johnson Theaters over here in the J's.
Mm-hmm.
And, he came out walking out and everybody realized that it was Will Smith, the way they just kind of surrounded him. Wasn't nobody thinking about no slap at that time.
He's beloved. Christine Bryant in the chat says to you, Andy, it is his character. Read his book. I mean, we heard some things about it, but, it doesn't mean because it was in his character in his youth that he's still hanging on to that. Well, clearly, like I said, he had a breakdown moment.
Hey, we all got a little ratchet in us, you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you got to, here's the thing. You give grace, but then sometimes you got to remind people, I'll punch you in the mouth. I don't know. You just do.
Sometimes you got to pop out and show them.
That is what Kendrick said, right? Speaking of, this is a quick side and we'll go back, but it all fits. They're saying that despite the lawsuit threats, that Not Like Us is on the set list in some capacity for the Super Bowl next weekend.
If this happens, I've said it, the greatest diss track of all time.
It is.
Period.
It is. I mean, it caused a lawsuit. Do you know what I mean? It was legitimately a phenomenon. It ruled from, when did it drop? April, May, all through the summer. The pop out solidified it. Them running it back. Yeah. So, we'll see if that holds to be true. But I feel like even if it's just, do you know what I'm saying? You are going to hear some form or fashion of that song on Super Bowl Sunday.
Just go, say Drake. And then, dun, 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 dun.
I don't even think you got to say his name. I think you could just hit the chords, right? You could just, because the thing is this.
I need a bar. Just at one bar.
I mean, there's
Wop,
some
wop,
bars, right? You want to hear the wop, wop, wop. There's some bars probably not good to put on a family-friendly broadcast, Sticky. I don't know if, in theory, even if the NFL is cool with whatever's happening, I don't know if you want your audience yelling out, A minor.
You'll be surprised, I'm telling you.
But I definitely think that we're going to hear some portion of it.
The Super Bowl crowd is pretty corporate, though, for the most part.
It
though.
is.
So.
But, I mean, so the audience may not get bucked. We're not going to see them. But the audience at home and the social media commentary, because let's be real. I've been to the Super Bowl and watched, who did I go? It was Bruno Mars performing. So it was in New York. It was the cold suit. That was cold. It was Denver and Seattle. So I was at that Super Bowl. Bruno Mars, where you were mad about that Super Bowl, Andy?
And I wanted Denver to win so bad.
Man, They went out sad. But that's another story for another day. I was at that and the performance when you were there compared to when you watch these performances on TV and something like that, very different production wise. Like there's energy in the stadium, but as far as your POV and seeing how it all breaks down, it's definitely a production made for TV. I will say that, and more enjoyable watching it, from a booth or in the. It was cold. Polar vortex. That's what they were calling that Super Bowl out in New York. It was freezing. So listen, we'll see what Will's going to do on Sunday. I'm sure everybody's excited to see him back on the stage. Maybe he'll hit a two-step or two, little bar from his song. Maybe he'll let us know if he's dropping an upcoming album. Interestingly enough, I would like to see Will Smith do a tour. I would like to see him perform. I think that he could run it up. I think he could do some incredible things visually. And I think that it would be exciting for us to check out and see. Lucas Frank in the chat says, this is a diss track about a black male. That track will be played and played loudly. We'll see. I don't know. We'll have to check it out. DJ Black 909 says, celebrities are not role models just because they're on TV and movies. People should raise their kids. 2022 drama is not 2025 drama. It's time to let it go. Well, listen, I agree with that. When we come forward, we're going to get into this new Eddie Murphy documentary that's just been announced. I think Eddie's career, granted, time has moved on. Eddie has gotten older, but I think we don't talk about the groundbreaking moves that he made early in his career. And so I'm excited to see something that is going to take homage to that. So we're going to get into the details of that. On the other side, you are locked in to KBLA Talk 1580, News, Traffic, and Sports up next.
You said.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know with BIN News. The FAA has indefinitely restricted helicopter flights near Reagan National after Wednesday's mid-air crash. Only medical and police helicopters are allowed in the area. The Defense Intelligence Agency paused events like Black History Month and Juneteenth under Trump's DEI ban, with other agencies following. Critics say it erases recognition and hurts morale. Testimony is continuing in the case against former Glenn County, Georgia DA Jackie Johnson, accused of blocking the investigation of a black man, Ahmaud Arbery. The state says she told officers not to arrest Travis McMichael, who is now serving life. And Black Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott says the city stands with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser after the deadly midair crash, offering condolences and praising first responders, including Baltimore crews and Maryland agencies aiding recovery efforts. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Downtown LA, it's a crash. 110 southbound past the 101, left lane's blocked. Delays leaving the 5, that northbound side of the 110, slowing out of South LA, leaving the 105 all the way back to the 5 freeway. The 5 is crowding up out of Burbank. This is southbound away from Alameda all the way to the 605. Ontario, both directions of the 15, crowding up between the 60 and the 10. Corona, 15 southbound, slows from the 91 to Wyrick Road.
Count on Lowe's to lend a hand to prepare, recover, and rebuild during the wildfires. Lowe's is a part of your neighborhood and want to make sure you have the supplies you need when you need them. Visit Lowe's in-store or online to get emergency supplies now and learn about relief efforts in your area.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
USC's women's basketball star Juju Watkins won't have to wait long to try to regain her shooting touch. USC, ranked 4th in the country, has a Big Ten Conference game Sunday at Iowa. Watkins made only 7 of 24 shots in Thursday night's win over Minnesota, including a frigid 0 for 10 in the first half. The sophomore from Compton is the nation's 3rd leading scorer with 24.5 points per game. Sunday's game tips off at 10:30 in the morning on Fox 11. The Trojans have won 15 straight. UCLA's women's basketball team, number 1 in the country, is at home Sunday against Minnesota. The undefeated Bruins are 20-0. It's a noon tip-off on the Big Ten Network. Congratulations to Jackson State University's athletic department. Jackson State finalized negotiations to play a football game in southern Mississippi, a Division I school. The game is September 6th in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Jackson State will get a guarantee of $350,000. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader. If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your blue.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it
inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Fresh out of Philly, yeah, I still rep the city. Mirrors on the wall, worth $500 million. Cause I'm an icon, somebody you could base your life on, that you should place your sights on. Shot on Canons and Nikons, turn the cameras and lights on. I've been about the action, master actor. I still rap, feel like Mike when they turn the mic on. And I got will until the wheels fall off. That's just the will, I am my willpower. Got these cowards saying, goddamn. He just won't quit, won't fold and won't switch. I wrote the code, I'm Mr. Smith. Cause this is the matrix, this is my regular basis. I am ahead of you players, I'm playing my aces. Every card with the faces, I am a king with a queen, reigning supreme. Been through the rain, mud on my feet, tracks in the street. Fame can be steep, mask off, see my face ain't clean. Did my dirt, made it hurt worse. Went to church feeling cursed, worked on myself, Kintsugi first. Couldn't tell, I've been through hell on earth. The truth and it burns, you live and you learn. No, I'm like Confucius, see life is confusing. I hate when I lose it, but I face the music. Oh, why did he do it? See, I'm only human. It's the beautiful scars, yeah. It's the beautiful
bars.
Scars, yeah.
Hey. I am inspired though after hearing that. He said, I'm an icon, someone you should base your life on. Bars. Come on, Will. We need a Will Smith Super Bowl halftime performance. I mean, I don't know if that could work now, but I would like to see it.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. It would be fire. He could do so much, incorporate so many different things from his film and stuff. You know, I like that. I like it. All right, Will. Okay. I'm going to give you more than what I was trying to give you. I'm going to give you a little bit more than I was trying to give you, Will.
Even though Joyner Lucas was the writer?
Yeah. Because here's the thing, too, right? There is something about, and I said this with Snoop, too. When the guys are young and they're talking about murder, kill, right? We like that and, you know, the parties and stuff. But when they're this age and the things that they rap about are things that they actually have done that are not murder, kill, right? Some life-inspiring stuff, some real stuff. Like, yeah. That's kind of hot to me. That's kind of fly because it's in a different way. We didn't have that in early rap. Rap has always been braggadocious. It's always been about all of the things, you know, the outward things and materialism and stuff like that. But I think one of the things that is special about getting to see it grow older is that you get to see the maturation of the genre and you get to see the rappers as grown men in a different space, in a different element, and they're different conversations. And I think that is important.
And this is why Andre 3000, get back in the booth, bro. Don't nobody care about your flute. I know you
Right.
you talking about don't nobody want to hear you rap about a colonoscopy. Yeah, we do.
I think I feel like maybe 15 years ago, no, nobody was trying to hear that. But now it's a different space. We're having different conversations and the lane is opened up. So I like all these guys are 50 plus putting out music. And I think that is kind of cool for a genre that back in the day, 28, 30, you are old for hip hop. So I think that's fly. Forrest Harrison says, I think that any artist that broke sales records without the help of digital are proven to be the best, at what they do. I agree with that. You know, there it is right there. Tony Yayo says, I just watched the replay of the D Wade episode. And as a guy also in his early 40s, I hate going to the doctor or hospital settings. Hey, man, go get checked out. Take care of yourself. Look out for yourself because not wanting to do it and what is on the other side of that, don't want that. Isn't Andre 3000 going to be at the Grammys on Sunday? I think that his flute is Grammy nominated. So
I don't understand that.
We're going to see. Look, people really went to that concert. They were vibing out, sound bowl isms and what have you. You know, sometimes you need a little peace in your mind. I don't even mind. Hey, do the flute stuff. Just rap a little too. That's all I'm saying. Rap a little too. We like that. So look. A documentary, it's called Eddie, is coming out, which will chronicle Eddie's rise as a teen comic on Saturday Night Live, you know, his breakout stand-up specials, and, you know, all of his box office things, all of the things, 48 Hours, Trading Places, and, of course, Beverly Hills Cop. You know, him starting from Brooklyn, Charlie Murphy, all of the thing. Like, if Eddie has had... It's almost 50 years at this point that he has been in the industry, right? In this documentary, he's going to be discussing 3 generations of fans, right? And basically how his image has changed because Eddie went from the raunchy, young, fire upstart to the family comedian. Think about Dr. Dolittle and all of the family comedies that we ended up seeing Eddie in, right? It's a big change. And then he's Shrek. He's Donkey. This is a side note. It's just a random side note. Well, not random because we are talking about Eddie Murphy. I still feel like Eddie Murphy was robbed of an Academy Award for his role in Dreamgirls. He did all of the things. He left everything on that screen. And I really think that he should have gotten that award that year. That's just my personal opinion. So just putting it out there, the documentary, will be dropping sometime soon. I'll let you know the details, but I can't wait to see it because I think that though we often mention Eddie's a legend, we point to the same couple of things. And I think people have forgotten the things that he overcame and what his comedy and he as an individual meant early on and what a rock star he was. Because, you know, Kevin Hart is now the rock star comedian, but before there was Kevin Hart, there was Eddie Murphy dominating. Pretty Brown Mimi says she played flute in high school and it's a fire instrument. I played flute when I was a little kid too.
I'm a flutist as well too.
See, boom. However, to Andy's point, hey man, get in the booth. Now, really quick, Matt Barnes, you know, of All the Smoke fame, former NBA player. He is engaged to model Beverly Johnson's daughter, Anasa Sims. They just recently had their second young child. They had a reality TV series, The Barnes Bunch. Together, they have 7 children. 2 together. She has 3 from a prior marriage. He has his 2 twins with Gloria Gavon. Well, apparently, Matt has been very adventurous in the month of January. And Anasa decided to expose him on social media, not only listing that he had been with 8 women in the month of January and she was heartbroken from trying to save a man that she feels could not be saved, clearly. She also decided to at some of the women that he allegedly hooked up with dates that he was with them and the activities that they participated in. One of the women was Masika Kalisha. She is Fetty Wap's baby mama, also formerly of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. One of the young ladies was Peter Thomas's daughter of Real Housewives of Atlanta fame. And she said that one of the women even sold them their insurance policy. So, listen, for me, with those two, you guys have been in drama back and forth. You've seen what happens with Matt. What are you doing and why are you bringing it to us? Keep us out of the group chat. This is the same young lady, and shout out to her. I know it sucks when your man gets in those streets, but don't publicly embarrass yourself too. A couple years back when they were having their things, she pulled photos off of Google to make him jealous and put them in her Instagram stories like she was somewhere. These are 40-year-old plus people, y'all. I know stuff happens, but hey, let's keep it off social media. Listen, coming up, we have interviews with some of the cast of the Prime Video series Harlem. We have series star Grace Byers and Shaniqua Shunday. We also have Gail Bean and Logan Browning. You know, Gail Bean has been in P-Valley. She was in Snowfall, several other things. She has a couple of films coming up. Logan Browning was in Dear White People and a couple of other things. So make sure you stick and stay for that. Thank you for rocking with me every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I will be at the Grammys on Sunday, hopefully talking about Kendrick Lamar getting an award for what is, we say, the greatest diss track of all times, and we want the Grammys to stamp it, and then him perform it next weekend at the Super Bowl. All of that, I'll let you know Monday how it goes down as we recap the Grammys, and of course, more trending topics and headlines. Thank you guys for locking in. Have an amazing weekend.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. It's KBLA Talk 1580's 3rd annual Black History Month luncheon, and you're invited. This is year 2 of our climate justice work, and this year's $2 million 12-month campaign is all about linking and combating the relationship between climate and Black health. We already know that these wildfires will leave in their wake even greater inequities, including negative impacts on Black health, given the toxic air pollutants circulating in the air we breathe. So, as part of this year's climate campaign, we're honoring Black doctors and leaders in healthcare at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Friday, February 28th at noon. If you would like to join us, just go to our KBLA 1580 website and register for your chance to be our guest at the luncheon. We'd love to see you. And in case you haven't heard the news, KBLA Talk 1580 was just named one of the semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay.
gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Starting off, Eva and Portia both come through and shake things up this season. Can you talk to me a little bit about the characters and where they fit into the lives of the ladies? And I'll start with you, Gail.
First off, hi, Jill. Good to see you again.
Hi, Gail. Good to see you.
Eva comes into Ty's life full force, right? Already being this possible huge opportunity to take her dating apps, her career to another level. And she kind of shakes things up a bit because here Ty is fully focused on like laser tunnel vision on her career. And Eva throws a little wrench in there with, okay, cool, we're gonna get this money, but what's up with you? So I think it was nice to have some fun at work, have some work-play balance. But then what Ty is unaware of is that Eva is going to challenge her in more ways than one, in both her career as well as her personal self.
And Logan, Portia.
Portia's not intending to shake anything up. She's just intending to be in love with this person she's known her whole life, which I think anyone would love to experience that. You know, you get to a certain age and then if you're having to keep starting over, there is something wonderful about being able to be in a romantic relationship with someone who knows you so well and has known you for so long. And she tries genuinely with Ian, but I think she's there just to serve the purpose of showing Ian what his life could be and showing Camille what her life could be in both ways. So yeah, whether Camille, for example, when Camille shows up to that doorstep and sees Portia, it's like, I could be the girl showing up to the doorstep, or I could be this girl over here. And it allows her to kind of, she's had that before in the show, but maybe I'm just being a little bit, I feel like Portia hits different. I feel like Portia hits her different because she sees that it's a real thing that could really happen and that Ian is happy.
That's a good way to put it. So in thinking about the show and so many things, love and timing and career, but especially with love, is a cross section that we go through a lot. So can you talk a little bit for your characters, what that experience is like as far as timing aspects of love?
Timing is
I know.
Because a lot in my real life, I'm like, time is not a factor.
Okay.
So it's so funny that it's like, I think with Eva and Ty as well, Eva doesn't consider time a factor. You know, she's not rushed, she's patient. She didn't walk into this meeting expecting to fall head over heels for Ty. But she, you know, we're at the age where we look everybody up, right? Especially if they're coming to work, you've done your research, you've done your deep dive. And to me, I believe she's already, when we start them off, she's already seen her in person and online. So it's like, time is not really, it's not a thing of like time is of the essence. It's like, you make your own time. Eva is very much a you make your own time person. I'm not at rush like time. I'm moving how I feel when I feel. And if it comes up, then it comes up. It wasn't like she was, you know, holding back and resisting on saying how she felt. It was just like, well, this is how I feel. I'm gonna say it now. I'm not gonna try to find the perfect moment. I think, you know, sometimes some other characters they work so hard on being on this should happen at this time, right? Whether it be childbirth, whether it be saying something, whether it be marriage, whether it be thriving a career. And I think Eva is just really on a path of time is not where I'm going to place the emphasis. I'm going to just place the emphasis on living in every moment.
So I love the characters individually, but I love watching the growth of Quinn and Angie, both as in their friendship dynamic as well as individually. So can you talk to me a little bit about the growth that we see in them individually and collectively through the 3 seasons, but especially in season 3? And Grace, I'll start with you.
I think it's really kind of lovely because you see Quinn and Angie in their respective spaces, and then as the seasons go, you kind of see them do that. So in the beginning, you know, you have, you know, for example, Angie not necessarily in a committed relationship, kind of dating around. By the end, you see her in this committed relationship as we start season 3. Quinn is wanting that committed relationship, trying to be in that committed relationship. And then you see her at the top of season 3 talking about how, you know, she gonna descend her men and she's gonna focus on herself, right? And that's just one example. So, I mean, you see these women living life differently as they try to sort it out, as they try to navigate it. And as the life would take them, they are going with the flow in a way as they're navigating their own selves and identities. And they're allowing themselves to be impacted. They're allowing themselves to be changed. They're allowing their idea of who they thought they were going to be and who they thought they should be to change. And I think in that, they're finding answers.
Well, I want to piggyback off of what Grace was saying. I think one of my favorite things when I first got the role was trying to figure out how can I show the similarities between Quinn and Angie. And so I would find moments or like in scenes like, when can I act like Quinn? Because they share clothing. And so as much as they are polar opposites, they have so many similarities as well. And so watching them switch, I'm like, yes. So it just feels like a gratification to this game I've been playing internally anyway as an actor in crafting Angie. And I love that this season you'll see her expectations of her expression or her expectations of love change and how she expressed it and what she thought of herself regarding relationships. And also you see her shift into having to balance now having a real flourishing career and mature in that way. I think so much in their relationship, there's been such a maturity and an understanding of being able to hold space for each other. I think there were moments where Angie brushed aside some of Quinn's issues or pain because she's like, well, you've got money. It doesn't matter. Girl, if I had that, things would be fixed. But knowing, I think in Angie having Quinn be so vulnerable and saying, I need you to take me seriously, and someone who doesn't often ask for things, you have to hear them when they do. It resonates differently when you hear someone who like is always the strong friend suddenly break down and say, I need you. So it required her to mature in order to sustain the relationship so that Quinn's needs were met, but then also going through a successful moment of her own and having moments where she still felt upset, because we think sometimes success and getting the dream changes things, but you're still a human being with other interactions happening as well. So experiencing finances and experiencing success while also experiencing fear and pain, I think allowed her to see Quinn differently, but also hold space for her, and then also ask for the same thing in return.
So kind of on that, the theme of timing and love and career and so many things, women's health, they've been some of the topics that we've covered over the course of the show. For you, throughout your characters, what was your favorite sort of concept to work out as Quinn or as Angie?
They all know this one for me, but it was actually Quinn's depression story. And I think that's for multiple reasons. One, because I think it's deeply important to speak about mental health, especially in Black communities. I think that it's really time to normalize speaking about it and kind of share with one another what works and the tools and all of that, because I feel like, there's a lot of focus in society about being physically, healthy, but our minds are just as important, if not more important in a lot of ways, to be paying attention to as well. So I loved that. And then it kind of carried a double meaning for me, because when I gave birth, I was diagnosed with severe postpartum depression. And so I was able to really feel that storyline on another level and be grateful for the different ways in which Quinn represented it. Because I was not aware that depression could show up in different ways. I was aware of the sadness, and I was aware of feeling depleted. I did not know that it could show up as fatigue. I did not know that it could show up as overwhelm. And so there were things that became new for me that I was grateful that I was able to be introduced to that in a certain way with Quinn. So that for me would have had to been my favorite topic to explore.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The FAA has indefinitely restricted helicopter flights near Reagan National after Wednesday's mid-air crash. Only medical and police helicopters are allowed in the area. The Defense Intelligence Agency paused events like Black History Month and Juneteenth under Trump's DEI ban, with other agencies following. Critics say it erases recognition and hurts